extremely fun. It's Sunrise with Craig Vronick right here on KCMX AM 880. Lively conversations around news, politics, and people, plus local news and weather every 30 minutes. We want to hear from you. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or go to kcmxam.com. Join in the conversation by calling 541-772-8255. Sunrise, where it matters what you think.
Good morning and welcome back. 6 minutes after. Dropped another degree, 53 degrees this morning. Going to be 63. And of course, we've got a light rain out there. They were saying 50%, but it's wet out. So, hey, welcome back, everybody. It's the Sunrise Show right here on KCMX. So glad you're with us this morning. Our phone lines are open, 541-772-8255. And our guest in the studio this morning, Miss Therese Holliday with Rogue Health. So glad to see your bright, shiny face this morning. How are you?
I am awake and alive, better than a lot of people.
Made it. Now, of course, you've been in the Valley for a few years. You just came down from Seattle. So this is standard operating procedure.
Yeah, I was looking outside going, why did I move?
Well, this is just that, we have to take the good with the bad, right? I mean, it's a little bit of everything. So
I'm a little thankful after the little bout of heat that we've had here. It's like, okay, I can do this.
I can do that, right. Yeah. It's a matter of when this is in its, 17th day in a row that we kind of get a little fussy. But you know how to deal with that.
Well, people here don't realize that it's like, 9 or 10 months a year up there. So, no, we're good.
Yeah, good. Well, so Rogue Health, you started Rogue Health when you came down, and Teresa is a licensed massage therapist along with a certified nutritional therapist as well, and the issues and things that you solve and everything that you offer over at your shop are really phenomenal, I have to say.
Well, thank you.
RogueHealth.com is her website, and one of the things you've decided that you want this Tuesday evenings. It's a class starting October 1st, so a week from tonight.
Yep.
So going through December 16th, 12 weeks. Now, I guess right out of the chute, you don't have to go to all of them, or you should, because it's a monthly fee, right?
It's a monthly fee, but what we're trying to do is for those people that cannot be there in person, I'm going to be uploading everything, all of the recordings of the meetings online in a membership-only area.
Oh, gotcha.
So that people, if they're out of town...
Great.
Oh, absolutely. Well, okay, I used to do web design.
Yeah, right.
So being able to get online and get all the information that you need and want, and if you need the support, great, and if you need the information, great. I want people to be able to listen to it again if they didn't really catch everything the first time.
Well, and people sometimes aren't good at taking notes. All right, so I didn't introduce this properly. It's the Rogue Health Challenge. Describe the Rogue Health Challenge. What's that going to be? So,
a lot of people want to lose weight, and I'm up there with them. I have had years of stress. I really don't take care of myself that well because I'm busy taking care of everybody else.
Teresa, when you say people want to lose weight, is this something that they just like 20 pounds bugs them, or is it all over the board? What kind of comments do you hear from folks that are bugged about their weight?
No, it's a lot more than that. It's a lot. I mean, personally, for me, I have a lot more than that.
Okay, but they finally realize that it's slowing them down, it's hurting, it's just making them...
Things are hurting, they're not feeling well all the time, and it gets old. And when you finally realize it can be so much different, then, you're a little motivated to do something about that, because when it's hard to get up in the morning, when you're having a hard time concentrating, when you don't remember things, and a lot of people chalk that up to, I'm getting older. No, that's not an excuse, actually. That's just people being lazy. Sorry.
And the big thing I hear is that clothes don't fit. So, and then, of course, they have, if you really have a lot of weight change, the closets have areas of, you can wear this, and that area over there we can't wear anymore. And this area right here we could wear, 2 months ago. And then this area is what I can wear right now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I talked to somebody last week who went through a weight loss challenge, and a different one, not from what I'm doing. And she lost a lot of weight. She was so excited, took all of her clothing, went to Goodwill. Here you go. Went out and bought all kinds of stuff. And then she went back to her old way of eating and living. And she told me, God, I wish I had my clothes back.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, no, what I'm trying to do is say, let's get off the diet pills. Let's get off the pill popping mentality. And let's start listening to our bodies. What are we really feeling? Let's detox. Let's learn how to eat appropriately. Let's learn how important sunshine really is.
Yeah, I mean, what's the percentage? I mean, can you even label that as far as the emotional eating, the binge eating? Because I'm thinking folks that gain weight, they participate in bad behavior or bad habits of, how does
that's
that...
not everybody, though. There are people who have hormonal imbalances, and they look at chocolate cake and their thighs explode.
Yeah, and that, when they have hormonal imbalances, I don't fault them. I mean, they just need to get their hormones correctly corrected.
Well, there are a number of ways. I mean, you can go through hormonal testing, blah, 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 but you can also eat a very, very clean diet, and that can be balanced through the diet. I've seen people reverse things like cancer with diet only. And I'm not talking going on a diet, I'm talking making a permanent life change. Right. And that's what this course is about. This course is not about, I'm going on a diet and I'm going to lose all this weight and then I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. No, it's about, are you serious about your health or not? We've got a healthcare plan coming through that's going to radically change how we perceive health. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And do you want to hand your life over to other people who are going to determine whether you're in their budget or not? Or are you going to take control of your own life? Personally, I choose the latter.
Yeah, so, and that accountability and responsibility for your own well-being is...
Yeah, when did that go away?
I don't know.
It's just so frustrating.
Well, and these classes, this whole entire Rogue Health Challenge starts October 1st and goes through December 16th. This started because your clients were saying, hey, I need to figure out how to do this, right?
Well, I've had a lot of people go, I have people get on the table and they're embarrassed about how they look. Personally, as a body worker, we look at that and we go, you don't know how grateful you should be. There are people out there that can't walk. They have no use of their arms. They're quadriplegic. I mean, there are people out there that have a lot bigger challenges than you, and you are embarrassed about what you have.
Right.
Are you kidding me? And, yes, okay, I weigh too much or I've got rolls. Yeah, I've got my own collection, So what? I've been to anatomy class. I know what it looks like. It doesn't matter. Let's make you feel better. Let's help you get back to de-stressing and regulating your life so that you're not this stressed out. This weight can come off, but you need to sleep right. You need to eat right. You need to get fresh air. You need to get sunshine. You need to do the things that really people used to do 100 years ago.
Well, and here's the thing. We talked to Nisha Jackson. She had this great evening class on this forum on stress.
Yeah.
And how, she didn't even get into that really, but how stress can change foods into excess sugar, which turns into fat, right?
Oh, yeah. If you eat, one of my big pet peeves is in America, we're trying to eat protein. Well, if your body doesn't need that much, you still metabolize it into fat. And so if you're like porking down the protein, thinking I'm doing something good for my body, well, if your body doesn't use it all, it gets converted into fat. And when you do with that, you store it. Okay, so people wonder why they're fat, and
So really, in these evenings, it's only for an hour, from 6 to 7 on Tuesday nights. And the topics, look at this: gluten-free, emotional eating. These are all separate evenings.
Yes.
Spiritual nutrition, food allergies, water, crazy, medicinal teas, colorful plate and and nutrients, detox, disease and nutrition, stress, taking care of yourself, and the success trifecta, body, mind, spirit. Those are all separate 1-hour educational discussion gatherings. And you're going to have these over at your shop, right?
We're going to have it at Rogue Health, yeah. We're behind Key Bank over Barnett and Black Oak.
Right, right. Fantastic. Well, roguehealth.com, phone number 541-727-1996, right?
Yep.
Yeah, wow. We have Therese Holliday in the studio with us this morning. We're going to continue when we come back talking about these different classes. And of course, it's going to go for 3 months, get a jump on the first of the year, but just really change the mentality of how we're eating and what it means, right?
It's fuel.
It's fuel. Yeah. And, marketing and food they're just, quite frankly, our enemies when it comes to, they're pushing us all in the wrong spot.
If it has an ad, don't go for it.
Oh, yeah. I drive by McDonald's in the morning. I'm looking over there, and their line is backed up. I'm going,
I know.
I feel bad. Sorry, guys. Don't go eat that at 5 in the morning. What are you doing? All right, we got to take a break. Sunrise Show. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Sunrise will return in a moment on KCMX News Talk 880. A little bold and extremely fun, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. on KCMX AM 880. Lively conversations around news, politics, and people, plus local news and weather every 30 minutes. Here's Craig.
I'm going upstairs. Yes, I'm gonna bring back down my clothes. Well, I'm going upstairs.
Good morning, 19 minutes after the hour, about 53 degrees, and it's wet out. It was supposed to be 50%, but you know how it is. It's okay. We'll take it. Everything needs kind of a reprieve from the heat. But we're going to have great weather coming back in. It's not to be discouraged, folks. It's not like it's November or something like that. Hey, in the studio with me this morning, Miss Therese Holliday. She's the owner of Rogue Health. You can find roguehealth.com. And Teresa is a licensed massage therapist along with a clinical nutritional therapist, certified nutritional.
Yes.
Yeah, certified. And of course, Rogue Health, you do so many really cool things over there. And from the massage table, great work there by all means. But tell me the other services that are over there at Rogue Health, because there's some really cool stuff going on over there.
So we have a gentleman who offers reflexology, Bryce Goodrow, who he works on me. I don't know if you remember, but in early June, I actually sprained both of my ankles, and he is the reason I'm walking. I mean, he does amazing work. And, I've had some issues with swelling and stuff like that, and he's just taken care of me. Awesome work, and really highly recommend him. I don't bring anybody in that isn't good. I'm sorry, I have high standards.
Right.
We have another lady, Kathleen, who does nutritional consults. She's more clinical than I am. We come from a little bit different perspectives, but she's very good at what she does. And, every time I've talked to her about issues, she, brings up a whole slew of information on that topic, and we have discussions about various things. Really interesting, very on top of things gal. And we have Kelly McLaughlin, who
We've
is
had her
a
in the
clinical
studio,
clinical hypnotherapist. I've had a session with her, and it's very good. I can still hear myself nagging me about stuff. And so what we're trying to do as a collective, we are trying to call it your care team, okay? And so people who, let's say, have stressful jobs, let's say they are in the health field, in the medical field, they're so busy taking care of everybody else, I know I do this, that they don't take care of themselves. And they're on their feet all day, or they're transferring patients, or they're in front of the computer all day. And so what we're trying to do outside of this program is we are trying to put a membership program together, an employee wellness program together that has them taking care of themselves, maybe over lunch hour. Maybe they can walk over at lunch hour and have half an hour massage. Lower back pain or shoulders, arms, hands. We've got reflexology, half hour or hour. We've got
do you see a lot of carpal tunnel? Not as much.
I do. I nag people about ergonomics a lot. So they're very aware of the issues, and surgery, from what I've heard from doctors and patients, is about a 50-50 chance. And so, but sometimes it's a nerve emanating from the neck issue. It's not the carpal tunnel. It's actually a neck injury. Yes. So you really have to look at what are the real issues.
I mean, the key at this point is we all push ourselves to the total brink, and we really, really do. And in our business, and we don't take care of ourselves like we should. And you're an expert on taking care of us, so it would be the next thing is dealing with all that. And a massage, I mean, it's just good. It's like food for the soul type thing.
You know what's funny is a lot of people think they know what massage is, and they think, oh yeah, you rub somebody and it feels great. Well, like last week I had a carpet cleaner come in. Yeah, my wife got me a gift certificate, and so I'm here. Guys don't usually come in unless they hurt themselves and they need something fixed, right? So he had a shoulder injury, and he's like, okay, I'm here for half an hour and just take care of business, and I can say I was here, right? And by the time he was done, he's like, oh my God, I feel so much better. My shoulder doesn't hurt. I'll be back. And so people really have this preconceived idea of what I do, but they really don't understand until they're on the table. And so it's kind of a challenge for me. It's like, how do you get that across, that I'm here to remove pain, to reduce stress, to get things moving again, to make you feel well again.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things that I remember is related to auto accidents and trauma with the body. And when you've been through something like that, the whiplash, your neck, everything else, and you found the issue of the seatbelt buckle that's down on your hip. And of course, because you expect to get, when you're hit, whatever, you're going to have bruising from the seatbelt and the airbags and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, years ago when I wrecked, the airbags went off on the steering wheel. I had bruising all up and down the inside of my arms because I'd been holding hold of the steering wheel, and it just bruised. I didn't know what that was. It stung at the time. I didn't think anything about it. About 3 days later, I'm looking down going, my arms are like purple or whatever. What's going on there? Yeah. And that happened. But this whole issue with the seatbelt buckle, finding it how many weeks later where it was?
Oh, yeah, weeks, whenever they come in. And here's the thing, too, the prescriptions I get from doctors, and I do get referrals from chiropractors and DOs and MDs and NDs. I have never seen a check mark on there that says, hip torquing, hip sprain, whatever. I have cervical sprain and thoracic sprain, which is your neck and your back, and that's it. And they don't put the hip torquing in there. And of course, I tell people, hey, you might want to talk to a chiropractor because this is off. It's not something I'm allowed to do with my license, nor do I have the training, but I can feel when your hips are off. Very simple. One's higher than the other one's, and you can tell lower back pain. Well, that's your SI joint, your sacroiliac joint being out of whack. Yeah, chiropractor DO can handle that very easily. When your neck whips, your ankles tend to whip, and if they're not jamming onto the brake, then, and that's an issue as well. And so people don't look at the feet because everything up in your head and your neck hurt, and it's loudest child syndrome. If that stops screaming, then everything else hurts, and so...
And people, but they don't know,
no,
so then
know.
they just go about their business and they
deal with
suffer.
It.
Yeah.
I have one patient right now who was in an accident, I think 2-3 weeks ago, and she is having a lot of issues looking at a piece of paper and reading words.
Why would that be?
Because you can have a little concussion. And they don't catch it at ER.
Optical nerve stuff.
Yeah, so there's that, but there's the trauma from the brain bouncing around inside the skull. It could be that your cervical, your neck, cervical C1 and C2 are torqued, and it can affect your brainstem, and so it can affect mood very easily. And it may not be caught if you just go to ER and they give you pain meds and you don't take care of it, and you just say, I'm fine. Well, that can affect you for a very long time, and people just think, oh, I'm fine, and I'll just muscle through it.
Well, okay, so interesting that it sounds like a lot of what obviously massage therapists, but with the auto trauma and things like that, you also work hand in hand with physical therapists in the Valley because you accent what they're doing and they accent what you're doing. Is that correct in saying?
It's kind of like pre-surgery. So if someone can come to me first, even just once or twice, it helps with reducing inflammation. It helps with reduce pain, with swelling. And physical therapy does really amazing work. But a lot of times people get in there and they're so injured, and then they're being asked to do things with an injured muscle that isn't quite ready. And the number one complaint I have on the table is, I tried PT. I was given a prescription for PT, and I did it, and it hurt too much, so I stopped. And it's like, no, don't do that. Okay, let's heal you first. Let's heal the tissues. Let's heal the trauma, and then go to PT, because then you have a muscle that you can work with.
Well, right, because many of the folks that I've talked to that go to PT or whatever, they say, I got to go to PT, and I find out through asking them that the physical therapist is trying to cut back on the scarring of the tissue and scarring of the muscle. That might be, whether it's a rotator cuff type thing, that's common, where they go in and increase movement,
Well, if you get into me first, then you don't have that scar buildup.
Interesting.
Okay, then you don't have to tear it back down. Tearing down scar tissue is not fun. It's painful. And there's no way around that being painful. And if you can get in right away, I had a patient came in last week. She'd had her accident on Thursday. She was in Saturday night. And I saw her, what is today? Tuesday. I saw her Saturday, and she goes, I am so thankful. This is so much better than physical therapy. And I said, well, don't give up on physical therapy.
Right, do it together.
It has its place, But yeah, she's doing so much better because she got in right away, and we don't have to break that down. It's not forming because we're healing the area.
And there's muscle memory, right? All of that.
And we talk about that. We talk. I try to let people talk it out because if they can get it out, it doesn't reside in the tissues.
Wow.
There's an emotional component people don't acknowledge.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Teresa, can you hang on? Can
Absolutely.
you stay? Okay.
Absolutely.
We have got Therese Holliday in the studio with us. She owns and operates Rogue Health, roguehealth.com, and there is a Rogue Health Challenge coming up starting October 1st on Tuesday nights. That's a week from tonight from 6 to 7, and there are multiple issues, discussion issues actually. You won't want to miss this. God, we'll be right back. We've got news and weather coming up. KDRB News Watch 12. All you high schoolers, be on time.
Stay tuned. Sunrise will return in a moment on KCMX News Talk 880. We want to hear from you. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or go to KCMXAM.com and go to the Talk to Us tab. Send us your thoughts. Lively conversations around news, politics, and people, plus local news and weather every 30 minutes.
33 minutes after the hour. Ooh, everyone, if you're just joining us, you're going to get the best of the best right now. We just finished a fantastic interview with Therese Holliday from Rogue Health Challenge, and I kept her over because we have got too much going on that is too good. And Therese, welcome back.
Thank you.
RogueHealth.com is where you want to go, and she owns Rogue Health here in the Valley, and it's over on Black Oak. What's the address in that building?
It's 2596 East Barnett, Suite B, but it's easier to get to from Black Oak.
You're right. It's on the backside of Key Bank right there. Well, and here's the thing. You are a licensed massage therapist and a certified nutritional therapist. And it really, all of that fits in, and it's amazing how it does, because when you get people on the table, things start coming out. You can tell if their skin is too thin, if their nutrition is bad, if their bones and their muscles aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, and it just goes on from there. It's like the tip of the iceberg. You just can see everything. But very key, there is a difference between what would be recreational massage or spa massage versus clinical massage.
Oh, it's huge, yeah.
Huge difference. So tell our listeners what that is.
So I used to work in a spa, so I can speak from experience. And what you're doing, they're very typically booked Swedish massage, which are very long strokes and very relaxing.
Very relaxing,
like
yeah.
And it's wonderful. Go ahead.
Teresa, we have a phone call coming in.
Okay.
Let's see who we got. Good morning. You're live on the air. Who's this?
Hey, Craig, it's Sherm. I was listening to Teresa.
Oh, excellent.
Talk about body massages, etc., for health. But last time she was on, she talked about nutrition and what people need to stay healthy.
Right.
Which, of course, is the foundation of the whole thing. Teresa, a question for you. If I went to the grocery store and picked up all the canned goods I needed for a proper diet, meeting all nutritional means, I wonder how many cans or how food I would need to pile up in order to meet the daily nutritional needs and have a perfect, close to perfect diet.
You
got a truck?
You plan on buying the store?
You need a truck. You know, I used to teach that in CTE math when we went through percentages, and I ran off the list of what we needed percent-wise for nutrients, and I have a display now. It's in my garage. It used to be on the front of my classroom, and I would pick up various cans and I would read the nutritional content, which is minimal. Even pork and beans, it's one after another, hardly anything. And my question all the way through the class is, okay, if that's what is in this container for nutrients that you need to survive, where are you going to get the rest of it?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what's the crazy part about this, Sherm, is that the sodium levels, they use it as a flavoring. So if they don't have natural flavorings with the food that they've processed, they throw sodium in because we're salt-driven, whatever. And the sodium levels, at some point, when you're on a 2,000 milligram sodium per day diet, which is what's recommended, FDA, whatever,
yeah,
you can't do that. I mean, you're up in the 3 and 4 and 5,000 milligrams, so you're limited on your food can-wise.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, the doctor told me I was supposed to be on 2,000 milligrams of salt sodium. She kind of backed off a little, but the point was, even picking up things, I've got a lot of stuff in my garage here. I got all kinds of food in the garage. But anyway, even the cup of noodle stuff, look at the sodium content in 1 cup of noodles. I think it was like 1,600 or so milligrams in one.
Yeah, yep.
You know?
Yeah, and that's I know.
You know,
and then people wonder why they have high blood pressure, because salt retains water. And once you have more and more and more of that, it creates more pressure. You only have so much skin. Of course, it keeps expanding. But you have skin, and then you have the retention of water and more. And there's a pressure that builds up, Physics 101. And it displaces the ability for your heart to pump. It displaces the ability for your kidneys to function. So people don't understand, the more fake stuff that you put in your body, the worse it is. I would challenge anyone to just stay on the outskirts of the store and buy the produce and stay away from the center aisles. Sorry, Safeway, sorry, everybody, but that's where your nutrition is. You get sodium from fresh vegetables, okay?
Isn't that something?
So, and it helps with the conduit. I mean, the water in your body, you're 75% water. The salts, yes, they do help the electrical I can't speak English this morning.
Yes.
They help with that, but you don't need to scarf it. You don't need to sprinkle it all over your food. You really don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Sherm, did that answer your question okay?
You know what? I got just barely what she said there.
Oh, well, it's just a matter of too much sodium.
I'll let you go, Craig, but that's something to think about. What nutrients do people actually get if they look at their daily diet?
And labels...
Almost nothing very little of what they really need.
Labels are a marketing piece. Okay, I used to be in sales and marketing. I'll admit that. I've recovered now.
Thanks, Craig.
All right, thanks, Sherm. We'll see you.
But labels are truly a marketing piece. And if you want to, we are going to be covering label reading because it is a marketing piece and marketing piece only. So,
wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were right there. I mean, Sherm brought up a great point with nutrition and canned foods and everything else. Mm-hmm. It's such a challenge now with all the marketing that goes on. But we were right there talking about clinical massage versus spa or recreational massage, and it's such a difference.
Yeah, recreational massage, that sounds like drugs.
Yeah.
And it could feel like that. So you're dealing with Swedish massage, so long strokes, very relaxing, very calming, slowing down, et cetera, et cetera. When you get to the other end of the spectrum, you're talking very muscle specific. So if you've had an injury and your sternocleidomastoid, which is the
so you muscle, focus on the injury.
You focus on the injury and the muscles around it. So they do like to say that muscle only, but let's face it, there's some synergy there. You have to support everything around that. So when I work with someone, I try to give it the spa feel so that people are relaxed and they feel better and don't get the white coat syndrome. But I try to be very clinical in the results that I give. And so I have people that come out and go, wow, I feel a lot better, but you can see now their head is straight and it's not torqued to the side. So it's very different approach. And what I do is more attuned to what physical therapy does, but trying not to hurt you.
Because the physical therapy is focused on that one muscle, and they work range of movement.
Yeah. And I'm trying to get rid of the inflammation and the swelling and heal up the tears. Okay, that's my goal. Their goal, yes, they do that too, but their goal is to get that whole area functioning again. I'm trying to heal that area. I'm not trying to do their job. I'm trying to do prep work.
Interesting. So it total comes hand in hand with what PT does. And
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I mean, I work on a lot of people who, let's say in the nursing field, who are transferring patients or whatever, and they're torquing their back or, lifting, and they've got the upper body issues. But yes, it's very, very synergistic. Absolutely.
Well, so it sounds like anyone that's involved in the medical field that's in PT or nursing, you would be like an essential, once a week type thing?
Initially when somebody has been in, let's say, a car accident, a couple times a week, just to get things, get the pain down, get the swelling, inflammation down. Usually after the first few weeks, 4 weeks, then it goes down to maybe once a week. After a little time there, once every few weeks, once a month, something like that, so that you get ahead of the curve on any problems arising. It's more of a maintenance after that. Initially, the first few weeks is trying to keep the inflammation down and the least amount of damage to the tissues. But after that, it's more of a, let's maintain this until you can. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this Rogue Health Challenge is going to be perfect for that because these classes on Tuesday nights, in fact, next week, starting Tuesday night the 1st from 6 to 7, these topics are going to be just incredible. The truth about gluten, emotional eating, spiritual nutrition, food allergies, water, medicinal teas, colorful, and it just goes on. But you brought in some experts.
I've got Dr. Saeed, who is a naturopath and chiropractor, speaking on disease. Yeah. He also speaks on spiritual nutrition. I've got Kelly McLaughlin talking on goal setting and bringing up your old issues and addressing them. There's myself, who I nag people about what they eat.
Well, what about, and who's going to handle this detox?
I'm going to cover detox.
That's pretty profound.
And there's a number of ways you can do that. You can do juicing, you can do water fasts. I mean, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of those, but there are various things you can do. If you want to buy and take products, great. I can give you some recommendations there. It depends on how you want to address
What's
it.
What's that little lab you've got where they soak the feet?
Oh, the lab.
What is that?
It's called an ion cleanse foot bath, a detox foot bath, and it pulls.
What is that stuff?
The water is ionically charged, and it pulls through the pores in your skin from your lymph and your blood, and
through your feet. That's what's.
Or your hands or your elbows. I put my hands in it because of what I do for a living.
Oh wow!
But you can do that, just not the head. Maybe it might knock some sense into some people,
but what's interesting is the sludge that comes out.
And I've had people go, that's all bogus and blah, blah, blah. Well, no, I've had people put their feet in there for half an hour and it's come out completely clean. So it does pull, and there are different colors and different chunks, and I don't want to get too gross here.
Right.
But
that's all detoxification in our body.
That's right. There's stuff floating around.
I mean, coming out of the organs and the blood and the.
It's mostly what floats around, and what is nice about it is it ionically charges. Now, the reason I have that in my practice is, and another practitioner actually got me onto that. It was a chiropractor up in Washington who focuses a lot with kids with autism, and one of the issues around autism is full body candida. Yeast infection, but also heavy metal poisonings, heavy metal toxicity. A lot of times they either have to take a drug that goes through the kidneys, or they do an IV drip, same thing there. And so you have this, you have to monitor that because it can toxify the kidneys and the liver. The foot bath doesn't require that, and so you don't have to be monitored by a doctor because it's not taxing the organs, it's actually just pulling it. And I've seen a mechanic who deals with metal all the time, and you could see the little black chunks in the water. It did ionically pull, and I've only seen that. I only saw that on that one person to that extent.
Out of his feet.
Yeah.
And when he was done, there was metallic.
It basically little black chunks, and that's the indicator that's heavy metals. Absolutely.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was shocked to see that pulled out, but it does pull every. Toxicology. I mean, that's just amazing.
Practice.
Anyway, this is all going to be amazing. Of course, go to roguehealth.com. That's the way to check all that out. You can also call Therese Holliday, 541-727-1996. And Therese, this is going to be fantastic. And they don't have to come to everything, but I guess if they buy the monthly, right, then they can listen to it online as well.
Well, it is a program. I do have to support what's going on there. So what I have done is I am taking the price that is the retail of the drops that we're using as the program conduit per se, And I'm putting a lot of value added in it because I don't want to get rich off people. I want people to understand truly what health is. I've had people hit me up like crazy now and, oh, we'll try this product and try that product. It's like, I'm not trying to create permanent customers that are, popping pills all the time. That is a mental state. That is a psychology. What I am trying to get people to do, however, is to start thinking about what they're doing and not mindlessly eating and looking at how they address their lives and making those permanent changes. So it's more about that. And I'm willing to support that. I mean, myself and all of the practitioners at Rogue Health were willing to give discounts to the participants in order to coerce them to take care of themselves because people don't. I don't.
And
that's why I'm doing this.
The body can heal itself. I mean,
absolutely. I've seen it come back from cancer with just nutrition only.
Wow.
Yeah, I've met a few people. Absolutely. One gentleman completely reversed stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Really?
Yes. He lives up in Washington, runs a health resort now.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I am constantly amazed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Therese Holliday from Rogue Health, that you've been listening to. So glad that you came in this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be right back. The Sunrise Show right here on KCMX. Back in a minute.
Stay tuned. Sunrise will return in a moment on KCMX News Talk 880.